county programs.
We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Grace Smith and I are talking during the break. She's with Tennessee Council on Aging on some of the property tax relief. We were talking about that just as we went to the break, and I'm going to let you guys know, and she'll fill you in on how you can go about getting that moving. Because listen, if you're a senior and you're looking at the situation, the key is if you meet the revenue requirements and your income,
right,
do it. There's no reason not to.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's take a quick call from Joe, who waited through the break. Hi, Joe.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you, guest, for coming on and explaining some of these benefits and the book that you can get. But all the politicians locally and even our presidential candidates, I haven't heard anything about doing anything for senior citizens. This country, for some reason or another, we spend a lot of money on youth and schools and things, which is good. But it seems like when you get older or you get to be a senior citizen, people kind of forget about you in a way, even your own family sometimes. So I wish our young people were more aware that one day, hopefully, that they'll get old and be a little more respectful to senior citizens and the way they treat them and the things that our government does to senior citizens, because it's not easy for a lot of these folks to get by and not have any help to go to handle their business and other things. So I just wish people would be a little more respectful to senior citizens. And I wish this country and a lot of other countries, when you're a senior, the country itself and the people, they give you a lot of respect. But it seems like in the United States, they don't really care too much. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Joe. What do you think? Do you agree?
I completely agree. And I appreciate him raising that point. One of the things we do at the Council on Aging is to serve as an advocate for older adults, and making sure that when there are work groups and task forces in town working on different issues, that the needs and concerns of seniors are represented on those groups. And very often we find, whether it's transportation or affordable housing, we go to those meetings and they are not talking about older adults. And they are talking about young people and getting employees to their jobs, or talking about housing for young workers. And we will inject and say, you are forgetting about a major part of our population. So I think he raises a very valid point. We are actively working, and I think transportation is a good example, on changing the culture in our community to be more supportive of older adults, to provide information and also needed services that are lacking, such as transportation. And that's something that, because it's not happening, it's a role that we fill.
Yeah, I mean, here, just remember, we're all going to get older.
Yes,
okay, we're all
we
going to get
are.
older. And getting old sucks. Sorry. It's bad.
Put it out there.
Who likes getting old? Now, I'm not saying you can't have a good time when you get old, but boy, bleh, I hate getting old.
My grandmother used to tell me, these golden years are for the birds. Now, that was when she was well into her 80s and her health was started to fail, but that's what she would tell me.
There's a lot of things you can do to make it more enjoyable, that's for sure. And it's something we should say now. We were discussing AARP when you first sat down, and as an organization, I mean, to some degree, though, if the seniors would just truly get together and AARP does that, you can be a powerful voting bloc that demands attention, even if they don't want to give it to you, can't they?
Absolutely.
How strong of a lobbying effort? I mean, if AARP, and I know they can make recommendations on what they think is a good policy that any candidate is advocating for seniors, and that then maybe you vote for them or you don't. I just wonder how powerful of a political lobby seniors are. And it's got to be becoming more that way if they can get organized among the baby boomers.
I think they're very powerful because they vote. And I think any politician
That's
that
right.
does not pay attention to that is missing
More so than the young
vote.
people. Young people don't vote as much, and the seniors will get to the polls if
They
they
are
can get
at
there.
the polls. They are the volunteers
that's
who
for
are
sure.
running the polls.
That's right.
So I think that's the other thing. I mean, we talk about, so often we have stereotypes of aging as decline and just a season in life where you're forgotten and you're not doing anything. I know a lot of
Sure.
very vibrant older adults who were
absolutely.
volunteering and very active well into their 80s and 90s. So that's an important thing to emphasize as well, that aging is another phase of life and you can remain very active. In fact, it's important to remain very active physically and socially to stay connected to people and to the community.
No, I agree. And again, we're all going to get old. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
just think about how you treat people now and how you'd like to be treated.
Right.
Let's go to Shirley. Hi, Shirley.
Hey,
Hey, good morning. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
I had a husband passed away in July, and I want to know how about going and asking them to lower my taxes again.
So you're a widow. So she would. So do you live in Davidson County, Shirley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you have a home where you've got your property taxes, and they're going to reassess the value. You think the property has gone up in value?
Yes, sir.
Sure. All right. So she's a widow,
Okay.
and so what does she need to do?
Okay. What I would recommend is that if you're in Davidson County, you can call for the tax relief and the tax freeze programs. You can call 615-862-6133.
Okay, and I guarantee she didn't have her pen and paper out, but listen, Shirley and everyone else, we'll give these numbers out to you again. So grab a pen and a pad of paper and get ready to write these down again. But all right, so if she calls the number you just said,
Yes.
that's for Davidson County?
It
or?
is for Davidson County only. And if the Council on Aging has numbers for all of the counties. So, and we have a resource sheet that we've just put together on the property tax relief and the property tax freeze programs. So anyone can call our office or go to our website, coamidtn.org, and find this
What's
information.
the office number then?
It's 615-353-4235.
4235, and we'll give that one out as well as that number for Shirley for Davidson County. And actually, Mary Elena's got it up on the screen. That's great. Yeah.
thank you.
353-4235. So for someone like her, okay, she is a widow, and so that means, as you said, veterans and widows or widowers, right? Was widowers also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They don't need to meet the financial requirements?
There was a caveat in the tax relief program. I will say that I'm not sure if that's widowers of veterans or if it's any widower.
Oh, okay.
So that would be a question to ask.
Okay, so she needs
Yeah.
to check. But it sounds to me like someone in your situation may qualify anyway, depending on what your income is. So
Absolutely.
Shirley, we'll give that number out again, but it's 862-6133 for Davidson County. 862-6133, and call them and see. And now's the time to do it. They need to get going now before they get their assessment, or how quickly,
Sure. The assessments, the reappraisals for Davidson
reappraisals, rather.
County come out in April of 2017.
Okay.
So not yet.
Okay, so you have time.
But it wouldn't hurt to call now to get information in advance.
and find out if you qualify.
And to even get the application to know what the steps are.
Right. Okay. So there's plenty of time. That's why it's good we're talking about it now. I'm
But
glad you
every
told me. It's
county is
2000.
different in their appraisal schedule.
Okay.
And so that is the Davidson County schedule is April of 2017. And I did learn at the public forum last week that as soon as those appraisals come out, that you need to, if you want to petition that appraisal or contest it, that you
appeal
need to
it.
do that right away.
Gotcha. All right, listen, we'll take a break on that note. Shirley, take note of that phone number and make that call and get it ahead of time. And we come back, we'll take more calls. If you're on hold, James, Betty, and others, we'll get to you. The number 737-7587. Talking, as you see, Tennessee Council on Aging, a bunch of issues there. We'll be back right after this.